So some of the ideas we had before were becoming a high value woman through self-discipline and mastery, through order and cleanliness, through developing gratitude, through fearing God, through godly submission, through prioritizing character over status. What else? That was the end of my list. Anything that you would love to talk about?
Well, I mean, going off of what we talked about today, we could go into some kind of, because I know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is a lot of these ladies that are watching today's live, they are going to say, you're right. You're right. We need to have some different financial questions. I do need to ask for a category to be created for me. I do want to put more intentionality into, myself or whatever. Like if we're talking about what I can, style and whatever. And they know what the budget is. And there isn't any money.
Okay.
So there's that part of it. Or there's women that are like, yeah, there's money there. I just need to have the conversation about putting a category together that has to do with that. So, part of it is, okay, I found who I want to work with. I want, I want to do my style coaching and I want to work with Sherry, right? Let's just say, I could see that there would be a useful conversation about how it, what it means to do that. Like what does my program even do? Well, how do I help people, with their style and, what does it look like? We could have that conversation. I'm just trying to think of where they're at. If it's always with your program and with mine, any kind of first step is going to feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. The first step's the hardest step.
Yeah.
You have to break through all that inertia with the first step.
Yeah. So with the money conversation that we just had, would it be useful part of me wants you to kind of talk about what we do in the Abundant Budgets course, and almost like an overview of each week, like a little, I don't know, maybe a 5 to 7 minute, like in the first week, we're going to talk about this and give an example of maybe one of your clients. In the second week, we do this. And, this is a conversation that I've had with my clients. This is what has come up in week 3 with my clients, like real, if you want to do testimonials or whatever, then that's fine. You might need, I don't know how you feel about asking permission from your clients to share their conversations that you've had, or if it could just be like the first week, we're going to get you set up with your budgets, your YNAB or whatever. And one of my clients was really scared to even take the first step of getting YNAB set up. And so this is how we worked through it. Whatever. We had a 20-minute conversation, and I held her hand and I helped her get all of her systems set up. And now she's rocking and rolling. She showed up to the next call. She was excited about, her finances and, whatever. Right. And maybe just go through each week of, okay, so I know at the end of this live that if I sign up with Ruth, I'm going to have a software system that's set up that I know how to use, that is going to be talking to me and I'm talking to it and I'm going to understand it. And then I'm going to have, I'm only on week 3 now, so I'm just trying to think of where I'm at. I'm also going to feel like I'm closer to my goals just because I understand how to get there better. I mean, these are just things I'm thinking of myself. Like, you can use me as a person anytime. Because I think that this is such a important conversation to have.
This money conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, so the way my brain works, I'm swinging around here.
Okay.
So you're talking about me doing this on the next High Value Woman?
Maybe just as not the whole thing, not the whole live, okay, but just as that was a conversation that was had, like we had that conversation, and whatever comments we get, I think that it would be useful for you to do just an overview of your program.
Okay.
On the next live.
Okay.
Because as a follow-up.
Okay. So, like, we got a lot of feedback on that. Let me give you a 5-minute thing. Okay. Because I don't want to turn High Value Woman into
a sales thing,
a sales coach I did at the end of that one because it was relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And I admit that I do want High Value Women to be a sort of a lead generator for both of us. But in my mind, it's also a little bit separate.
Okay.
So when it's relevant, I'm happy to sell people help that they want. But part of me is like, well, I'll just send it to my landing page. It covers all that in my landing page.
That's true.
So, and I can just go put that in the comments right now, get on the waiting list, all the things. It has all the description. Maybe not as clean and clear, but like, you're giving me ideas for the next go around of how to sell, the course, the next go around. Yeah, but if we get a lot of comments or if it's just relevant, I can do a 5-minute snippet like, hey, more interest.
Mm-hmm.
And see, but then my brain is like, but then I feel like I have to give them, like, I'm doing a sales pitch. I may as well be like, and if you sign up before Black Friday, then I give you this special discount. My brain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and maybe it's just where my brain is, that I'm like, every single person that just watches that live that we just did, hello, they need to get into your course.
That's what I say every day.
I mean, it probably just is where I'm at. Like, hello, what is the deal? Sign up for the course, get on the waiting list. Did you forget? Like, did you not hear? Like, we need to say it louder for the people in the back.
I love that you feel that way.
So it might just be, and I'm a little partial to you, so it might just be that too. But I kind of like and it doesn't have to be this way, that I'm probably just rambling, but I like the kind of, we had this conversation and it led us to this conversation, which led us to this. Like, I kind of like that. Mm-hmm. But then that's assuming that everybody's following every single thing that we are doing.
When we get fans, we might, like, I've been having people on Facebook like, I I just followed you. I was just introduced to your series. It's so good. I'm so happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, like, as time goes on and as word gets out, it's going to be one of those things where it's like they tap in and they're like treasure trove.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just had this idea.
Okay.
What if when we become better planners and we get better at this, we have this like thing where I'm just going to say, because my thoughts are still forming, the idea is still like morphing.
Yeah.
But it's like our packages together, and then whatever pros we have in, we like sell this like self-improvement for the year package. And then you just decide, like, great, I've just purchased these 5 different specialties for me to work on myself. And then I just pick, I'll do this one. Like you can kind of choose your own order according to where you feel you are. Like, what is the next thing for you to work on? So that was a thought I had. It was like, now it's like this whole, like, we just kind of put our things in, and maybe because you buy the bundle, you get 10% off of everything. But it's like this high value woman career. I don't know what the word would be, what the title of the product would be. And then it was like, then we're teaching. Our teaching becomes more purposeful and also like more marketable.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's what because I'm the same way. I'm like, well, why haven't you learned how to put your clothes together? Like, just ask her.
Yeah. 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 Which I think will come. Like, I think that like it will come. And I think that you and I have this like perfect married like thing together that like plays off of each other so nicely.
Yes.
Supports and plays off each other so good.
Yes. And I think the key to it is it's so sincere and it's so organic.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
I think that's awesome.
Yeah. So tell me your list again. Tell me the list of
ideas,
of topics again.
I have. Oh, there's some more up there. It's funny. I was just typing. So the full list is wiping asses, boundary bitch, generous giver, CEO, creator/Mother Earth, self-discipline and mastery, through order and cleanliness, through developing gratitude, through fearing God, through godly submission. And then I have some quotes scattered for my back up my thoughts, by prioritizing character over status.
What this is just because it's what I need, but what's the self-discipline and mastery?
The quote I have with that is, excitement is a better motivator than discipline. The people who appear to have an exceptional work ethic or remarkable discipline are often those with a genuine curiosity or interest in that area. The person who smiles is more likely to keep working than the person grating their teeth.
I like that because I'm not a very disciplined person. Like it's just not my personality. I'm too spontaneous and, whatever. Mm-hmm. But if I'm determined, I'm just automatically disciplined. And it's that if I'm excited about something, I'm just automatically disciplined. Mm-hmm. So that's been a realization that I've had just this year is I'm not super disciplined unless it's something that excites me and I'm determined to achieve. Then I'm really disciplined. So the things that I want to be disciplined in, I've had to ask myself, what excites me about that thing? I need to find something that's exciting about that thing. Mm-hmm. I still haven't found it for exercise and losing weight, but I'm working on it.
Keep working.
Yeah, I'm working on it. So maybe that's a good topic for us to talk about is self-discipline and mastery. And really focusing on that if you have a negative or a should be around discipline, well, I should be more disciplined in this area, mm-hmm. then you're never going to be disciplined in that area because that energy is not exciting. It's not motivating. It's not fun. It's none of it. So what can you find with that thing over there that excites you, like genuinely excites you?
Yeah. Or ditch it and go be disciplined somewhere that matters.
Yeah.
A lot of the things we're like, should, but like, why?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if there isn't a, yeah, but why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, what's the deeper thing? Maybe there's another, maybe just your method needs to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could talk about this. Let's see. So immediately my thoughts on this are, that's how you have control, is through self-discipline.
Yeah.
And mastery. When we try to control things outside of our sphere of influence, that's when we go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's when anxiety kicks in. We try to control things that we don't have control over. And the more out of control we are in our internal boundaries, the more we feel we have to control outside.
Yes.
So control actually comes from focusing on this internal boundary and then mastering this, whatever's happening in this inner circle here.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is tapping into what's exciting about it,
Mm-hmm.
the rewards of it. It depends on how small we need to go. Is it like discipline to make your bed, to clean your house, to get your finances in order, I would say it's go to the gym. It doesn't have to be the gym. Like maybe it's a walking, but like whatever it is. That's a nuanced one, but okay.
So maybe it would be helpful to have topics of what we feel like a high value woman is disciplined in.
Okay.
What are the 3 top, or maybe what are 3 important things that we feel like every high value woman has self-discipline and mastery in these 3 areas?
I take it like closer and I just say she has mastery in her wants, she has mastery in her goals, and she has mastery in her results. Meaning she's disciplined. She takes responsibility for that. Maybe that's too close. Maybe that's
her wants. What was the second one?
I don't know. Her wants, her goals, and her
goals
results.
and results. Wants, goals, and results.
Yeah.
I think that's good. Like I like that, but let's expand a little bit.
Okay. Because I don't know that I could say, I mean, I would say like cleanliness and order, but I feel like that's its own topic. I feel like self-mastery and self-discipline is different. This discipline and mastery gets you here.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets you to your organized finances, and it gets you to looking great, and it gets to your physical fitness. Like this is kind of the core. Mm-hmm. It's just owning yourself.
Yes. Yes. And just what you said, when you do the internal work of knowing what you actually want, being honest with yourself about what you actually want, and setting some goals for yourself that you want, that you feel like are exciting, that are important to you, not what you think you should do from somebody else's point of view, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then how are you going to know that you got that result when you get it? How are you going to know? Like, how do we know that you achieved it? What is that? Then by doing those simple things, that is going to create you being a high value woman in your finances, in your relationships, in your parenting, in your whatever, in your job, whatever.
And this is really important because this means, I mean, because it's all about how people see you and they're like, that's someone that I want to work for me. I want to marry. I want to mother my children. I want to follow her. I want to hire her. Because they know that if they give this girl a task, she's going to follow it through.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not going to let her emotions or her excuses or like whatever get in the way. She's going to figure it out. she's going to follow through. So
Yeah.
it's like she has this thing that she wants. And then she's going to break it down and she's going to figure out the path to get there. And she's going to keep pushing till she gets there. Rather than this, like, the patriarch is out to get me, or my kids are ruining my life, or like all the crap that we do that we then don't push through to the thing that we need to do. Like, that's the discipline of like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get the people on my team that I need. I'm going to get it.
Because you want it.
Yes.
You like
yes.
actually want it. It's something that you think about on a daily basis. Yeah. What is it that you want that nobody knows you want?
Yeah.
What is that thing?
Yeah. And you
write it down.
You want it.
Write it down.
Like, they should get it for me because of X, Y, but it's your want. So you get it. Okay, let's keep thinking about this. Do we have automatic points right now that we're working with?
Well, I think the wants, goals, and results, I think we should definitely talk about that and what that actually means. You know, the things we've just talked about. Okay. What is the secret thing in your mind that you want, that you think no one else would approve of or give you permission to have, or you just have never told anyone because you think it's, you know, outlandish or whatever it is? Like, what is that thing that you actually want that you won't
even... Or it could be the other side. Like, it feels like such an obvious thing to you. It's almost, you have entitlement to it. Like, everybody should know you want that and support you. And like, there could be the flip side too.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think we could spend some time talking about that. And then we could spend, because we're just in that conversation right there, you're going to get people hooked in to the thing that they want, that they haven't said anything to anybody. They haven't even admitted it to themselves. They're going to start thinking about that thing, and we're going to be giving them permission to give themselves permission to want it. And then we're going to talk about, well, how do I go about getting it? And we could give them some like ways to make goals to create that thing. And then how do we know you've achieved it? What is it that we know you've achieved that thing? Because if you don't ever know that you've achieved it, you're just going to be out there chasing it around, and you actually have it and you don't even know you had it.
Yeah.
So how do you know you've got it? What's the result that's going to tell you that you achieved that thing? And then
I would say, then also the flip. If you've defined what it looks like and you still haven't achieved it, now you need to have the discipline to go back and analyze why and make some edits and try again.
Yeah. And once we have that conversation, then we can say, okay, what is that what type of how do I want to say this? Once you have the skill of knowing what you want, admitting to it that you want it, making goals to get there, having the tenacity and the determination and the self-discipline to keep going until you get it, what kind of a person is that creating? A high-value woman. And where is that skill going to show up in other places in your life? Why would it be important for you to create this skill, to spend some time on this particular skill? Where else in your life is that skill going to be useful? Because I think that's the mastery part.
Yeah, that mastery part is. And you can now start to apply it in every circumstance.
How are you going to be a better parent? How are you going to be a better wife? How are you going to be a better sister? How are you going to be a better daughter? How are you going to be a better lover?
How you
you
can
know,
be a better businesswoman? How you can be a better
businesswoman.
marketer? How you can be a
Yep.
better house cleaner? How you can be a
Yep.
yeah. It's that. Those are 3
Mhm.
really good ones. Damn, Sherry, it's like we're inspired in this room.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's just it. That's our whole conversation is that would take an hour probably.
Yeah. And even if it doesn't, it's juicy and full, and chew on that, ladies. See you
Mhm.
next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to split it up, or do we just want to like banter back and forth equally?
I think we should just banter. I mean,
Okay.
I think that's like what I think that people get to know us by doing it that way.
Mhm. Yeah.
You
And I
know?
feel like that kind of energy gives them space to then to their phone be like, and this and this and this and this, like we're gonna hear
Mhm.
them, but
Mhm.
that like they're involved and their brain is clicking.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. I like it.
Yep. Yep.
So becoming a high value woman through self discipline and mastery.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that is October 2nd,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Do we want to line up the next ones, or we just take it as we come?
Um we could do a couple more. What's the next one? The 9th, October 9th?
Yes.
Um Tell me your list again.
Generous giver, creator / Mother Earth, order and cleanliness, developing gratitude, fearing God, godly submission. Here's a quote. As we live our lives, we find ourselves confronted with a brute fact about how little we can know about our futures, just when it is most important for us that we do know. For many big life choices, we only learn that what we need to know after we've done it, and we change ourselves in the process of doing it. I'll argue that in the end, the best response to this situation is to choose based on whether we want to discover who we'll become. I'll argue that in the end, the best response to this situation is to choose based on whether we want. Is that a funny line?
Mhm. Mhm.
It's like I'm waiting for another option.
Mhm.
Let me just take that word out. This situation is to choose based on what we want to discover. No, whether we want to discover who we'll become or not. Is that the implied or not? We want to
Mhm.
discover who we
Maybe.
want to become.
Mhm.
It's a funny quote. Who is that from? That must be from Cleary. No, it's from Professor of Philosophy and Cognitive Science, L.A. Paul. That's who that's from.
So what comes up when you read that for you?
I have it under submission.
Mm.
So that makes sense. Under submission, that makes sense. We submit to things that don't make sense to us. I don't know. We only learn what we need to know. Oh, because we submit to something, to a higher power or higher understanding when it's not clear or obvious to us. We just kind of live a little bit of faith. So if we don't know like what's around the corner or like what choices we'll have or who we'll be, we're just kind of trusting if I do this, it will open up opportunities for me. I want to discover who I am. Like we think about things that we've submitted to: marriage, motherhood, college, agreements, obligations, jobs. Like you don't fully understand what you're getting yourself into, but you submit to the process. Our clients submit to our processes all the time. They have this hope and dream that they're going to get in the end. They submit to us, having the faith that in the end they'll get it. And they discover a lot in the process.
Well, thinking about submission in the religious way. I mean, really, God just wants our will. Like that's really what he wants, is that we are going to submit our will to his will. We want what he wants for us. And we're willing to put down our pride and what we think we want for what he wants for us, you know?
And his is always a so that. Like, it's really like, just trust me through this. Like, I can't explain it to you right now. You won't get it if I try to explain it to you. You just have to walk with me through it. Whereas it's not like a tyrannical, because I'm the boss, you should just do what I say. It's like just trust me on this. You'll see as we go through why. And
I'm going to be right here with you the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. There is no, with the submission, there is no, because I'm the boss, you should I should get to have your will. It's like, you're going to be happy you did. It's too complicated. I can't show you all the things. You won't get it if I explain it to you. Just go with me on this one.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about submission? Is that where you're leaning more toward?
Well, I mean, if we do talk about submission, then there's a couple of things under it we could touch on.
Okay.
No, like what you were just saying about the quote, to becoming a better person. If we submit, then we become better on the other end. Because it's like, how many times have we thought, we knew what we wanted. I'm going to go to school for nursing or whatever. And because I want to be a nurse and blah, blah, blah. And you get into being a nurse, or you get into school being a nurse, and, other things come up and you're like, I actually wanted to do this or the other thing. But I told myself forever I wanted to be a nurse. And so we fight against the path that's being laid out for us because of what we thought we wanted. And then if we'll just submit and go along with it, and we're like, wow, I could have never dreamed this path. I'm so glad that I wasn't stubborn and had to have what I thought I wanted. I'm glad that I followed the path that Heavenly Father took me on, because I'm so much happier. I would have never even dreamed that this could be the way it is. I would never have come up with this on my own. We're better when we submit. We end up being better people than we could ever even dream of being.
Yeah, when we submit to good things. There's always that, I'm sure the people like me, it's always that caveat of like, two good things. Yeah, and I can say that way with like my eating and stuff. When you pick a new nutrition plan, then you're like, why can't I eat this? What's the harm of one little thing? Or like, why can't I? And you're like, just, you want what you want, just submit to it. Like, just give it a try. And then you're like, oh, I'm down 15 pounds and I don't even want the sugar anymore. Wow.
Yeah.
My skin is so much clearer. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Or the budgeting thing, like just trust me on this. I promise you'll like YNAB.
Yeah.
Just do the tasks.
Yeah.
Break it down. Just do the tasks. I promise you'll like it.
Yeah.
Trust me on this.
Yeah. It's not I told you to, because I said so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like this morning, I had the thing where I had my jammy pants on because Scarlett or Annie does early morning seminary. So she has to be there at 6:15. And I stayed up late last night again, working on business stuff. Anyway, so I just put my pajama pants on when I just stayed in my pajama pants when I got back into bed. And I was like, oh, I just want to stay in these and I'll just put on a fancy t-shirt or whatever. But I'm like, no, you're trying new things. You're trying new things. You want to feel a different way. You want to behave a different way. You're just trying new things. So you got to submit to the new way of doing things.
Yeah. That's a good
You
topic.
can, you totally can wear your PJ pants and your Zoom shirt. Knock yourself out. But you want a different result. So just submit to the new way of trying things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like that.
Okay, this will be good. Well, we're done. Let's just put this. It's recorded. The end.
I know, right? I'm writing this down. Well, and next week we can talk about this more. See where it goes after next week's with this topic for the 9th, the submission.
Okay. All right. What are we doing next time?
Self-discipline and mastery.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, awesome.
All right. See ya tomorrow.